Your Highness, your call to action.
Well, I'll say two things. First of all, I think we do need the courage to call a spade a spade. And we need to call our governments to order, and we need to say that what is happening is morally wrong. The world has been down a path which has shown positive results. We cannot let a small group of people turn us back.
Great.
Okay, and I think it's important. And the only way they will succeed is if everyone else keeps quiet. The second thing I will say is that you need to go to the front line. These children live in villages, they live in wards, they live in remote areas. A solution that can be found at the distance of a conversation does not need a solution from across continents. We need to go there, go to the front line, go to the communities, understand the problems and deal with them. If we do those two things, I think we'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you so much for bringing your wisdom here to Your Highness. African nations have shown a great deal of resilience and solidarity in coming together during times of crisis. And I wonder, from your perspective, in Nigeria, what can the rest of the world, especially high-income nations, learn from that spirit about extending compassion and action across borders?
Well, African nations have shown resilience not in abundance, but in scarcity. In general, when you have a lack, when you have poverty, communities come together. If there's no food in the house, neighbors feed that family. In 2017, when we talk about children, I had what, for me, was the most traumatic experience. When I sit in court, generally some people come around, they're asking for help. And on this day, I heard a loud scream. It turned out that a woman who was waiting in line to ask me for help came with her child from the Children's Hospital Cross, and that child died in her arms. And what was she looking for? Something that was the equivalent of $5 to buy drugs. Okay. Now, when you live in that environment where a woman's child can die because she does not have $5, the only way that society survives is that those who have come to the help of those who do not, because that child could be anyone's child. It could have been my child. And I think what the world needs to learn is that human beings as a whole are one community. We may all think that we're wealthy because of our intelligence. We may think because, well, okay, fine, you're American, but you were born in America. What did you have to do with being born in America? There was a divine plan for it and a test. And God loves all his children. He does not give some wealth because he loves them better than those he does not give. He gives you wealth as a test. That test is, what do you do with it? What is your gratitude for that opulence? What is your gratitude for that wealth? And the only way to show gratitude is to give those whom he has not given, and to show love to those whom he loves. He's tested you with that. I think what we need to learn, or what the world can learn, is that if we think of human beings as one large community, then this distribution of wealth is done for a reason. And that purpose is for those who have been given to show gratitude by assisting those who have not, and for those who have not to show perseverance and to thank God for their condition. This is, I think, what is missing.
Your deep roots in faith and tradition guide you to respond when children's lives are at risk.
Well, the first thing I'll say is the question of children's lives transcends a specific religious tradition. I imagine in every culture, in every religion that is ethically grounded, part of the definition of ourself is the nature of attachment to things outside of us. And the idea of compassion, the idea of feeling pain at the misfortune that befalls a human being that's not brought upon himself is something that is universal. Now, in the religion of Islam, human life is sacred, all human life. The Quran says, he who takes a human life without cause is like one who takes the life of humanity, and he who saves one human life is like one who saves entire humanity.
Yeah.
Now, given that perspective and given the fact that all human life is equal, the fact that children are exposed to death, children are exposed to hunger, children are exposed to malnutrition, children are exposed to ill health, is something that should concern us as human beings. The second thing is, of course, the responsibility of leadership. Leadership in Islam has responsibilities, and you know you're going to be asked on the day of judgment for the welfare and the well-being of your people, and the children are the greatest trust. The second caliph of Islam, Omar, once said that if a goat were to be lost on the banks of the Euphrates, I'll be asked about that on the day of judgment. So imagine when you're dealing with the lives of children, and these are the greatest trust placed in our hands. So from that perspective, the saving the lives of children is perhaps the greatest priority of any leader, because children, women, and other vulnerable people are there to be protected by those in power.
Thank you. Pastor Rick, you've